Welcome to another episode of Please Elite This.
Hold on.
I can't.
Go ahead, man.
Okay. Episode 273. Welcome to the episode of Please Elite This. In the building, we have Darren.
Bam.
Genevieve.
And we are here in a very special place with very special people. Bim, introduce us.
Whoa.
How? Take it away, Bim.
That was crazy.
I know the least. Yo, I'm freestyling. We're in a nice setup. We're away from home right now, but we're feeling real cozy. Shout out to Filling In Studio.
Rosa Parks.
Yeah,
Rosa
Rosa
Parks.
Parks.
Studio
Yeah.
for letting us borrow the space as we
312
interview
Prairie
a
Ave,
very, very
Providence, Rhode
special.
Island.
Oh, go. What's that?
312 Prairie Ave, Providence, Rhode Island.
Word. There'll be more information, I hope, how to schedule. Don't just pull up.
Everybody's like, where?
We are so proud. People don't just pull up.
Just pull up.
But yeah, we're here to chop it up with Mr. Kobi Dennis.
Yeah.
What's going on? What's
Round
good?
two.
Round two.
I like it when
Finally.
people hanging up with us again because it lets me know they don't think we're that crazy or stupid. So thank you.
We got
First
things
time
to
was
do.
fun too.
We were invited back. We were told, hey, you guys got to sit down a minute again.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been looking forward to this. So
Yeah.
tell us what you got going on, Mr. Kobe.
Boy, just a little bit. Running for school board election. I got fired pretty much from my job. A lot of things happened. So we can talk.
Escalated quickly.
It went quick. We don't play. I didn't get fired. I like the. It sounds juicier than I just stepped away. But that's pretty much what happened. I stepped away, but I like them to think. I like the folks that were in charge to think they kind of fired me, but I leave. No one pushes me out of nowhere without me wanting to leave. So so I'm out here freelancing now, and it's great to be in the position I'm in because I'm running for office and I have some more time. So I think this time around, my family is not threatening to leave me.
And that's for real. That's for real.
Like
That's
Michelle
real
Obama.
talk. There was no laughter after that because all of them was about to leave after when I was running for mayor because it was tough.
Yeah. Oof. So from that experience, even with the outcome, what did you draw from that? Like, what even makes you want to continue to be in that realm? Although this isn't like fully political, it's still kind of in the same.
Still need
vein.
votes.
Yeah, although it's a partisan race, it's still very political.
Right.
They keep trying. Even some people really high up even told me to my face. I won't say their name, but told me to my face that this is a very non-important election.
Oh wow.
And they couldn't believe that I was even running for such a position. So that's when I knew it was good. That's when I knew it was very important, and that's when I knew it does mean a lot to the people, and that's why I'm running. I'm everything that I do for the people first, and sometimes I get myself in trouble with that because like I said, family life diminishes. Just even my jobs, everything diminishes because once I'm in a race, I'm in it to win it for real. And not for all the reasons that a lot of other people get in. No shade for the other politicians, but not for the other reasons. I'm really getting into these races to be a full representation of us. And when I say us, the people around this table happen to be brown folks, and that's who I'm fighting for. And I don't hide that because if we're not at the table, we're on the table.
Right.
It happens all the time.
It's true.
So what exactly is the school board position that you're running for? Because I believe it's changed this year, right?
So it's changed. So the school board has remained the same. The process to be on the school board has changed a bit. So the school board has, the same. It's a governing body for schools. So where what a school board does pretty much, they help with the hiring of administrators. They help with policy, budget. I mean, there's so much that the school board does, but the main reason, the one thing, the line that I love that the school board does, it's connectivity to community. So, school boards are supposed to be made up of soccer moms, soccer dads, just anybody, just a regular guy from the neighborhood is supposed to be on the school board. Unfortunately, over the years, the last few decades, the Providence school board has been appointed all the time. It was never an election. And I don't think a lot of people, many people in our state with the 39 towns and cities, so the other 38 pretty much were, doing it the way that the rest of the country does, most of it, they would elect. So you would, I used to live in other places. I used to always see, running for school board, like election signs. I'm like, because I didn't know any better. I thought you got appointed by the mayor like they did in Providence. So I know if I didn't know, and I consider myself well-versed, a lot of people didn't know. And we're finding that out. Myself, my campaign manager was here with us. So we are finding out what, just like we did with the mayoral election, we are learning as we go because there's really no boilerplate for it. And, the books and the insiders and all that, they don't want people like us, to get to the top. So we always have to find out on our own. There's nobody, we don't get to call up people. And that's not a shot at the Board of Elections because they do a great job answering questions, so on and so forth. But just we don't have people in our community that look like us that have ever been in these positions. So it's very hard for us to, get background information or find out the best route to go. We're learning on the job.
Right. Which is real for even when we're in our regular jobs. A lot of times, Black people, we have to kind of like figure it out.
No,
more than other
true.
people, you know what I mean? Other people, they'll hold their hand and okay, this is, and then you're like, all right, well, what do I do? Well, just do it.
Yeah, figure
So
it out.
it's really indicative of how we have to live our lives just on a regular basis.
That is very true, and that correlates right with when I joked earlier about my job working at a big nonprofit in the city, actually all around the state of Rhode Island and beyond. I had 500 employees. I was number 2, which I was thrown into the job and I had to learn on the job. There was no number 2s for this big organization. Made really good money, a lot of good connections, and most of all, when I was there for my 4 years, I hired about 75 to 100 people that looked like me, making livable wages, and I emphasize that. So when I say livable wages, it means you can pay your car note, your rent, and still have some money left over. That doesn't happen too often. So, and that's because I was at the table. Yeah. And now at that same organization, there's no one at the table. So out of those 75 folks that I worked so hard to hire, probably 50, 60 of them are gone. Oh, wow. And so I know it was because of me now. And because of my presence and my influence. And I don't say that in a braggadocious way. I say that because I've earned the right to talk about. I tell people to talk that talk. People, you don't try to do what I do. I've been doing this for like 30 years. And I talk that talk and I back it up all the time. So, and I tell, like the kids say, I got receipts.
So the last time we spoke, we were at
Cornerstone Complex.
Cornerstone Complex. So at the time, I know I was looking forward to certain things. We had discussed, after we finished recording, we spent a good amount of time looking around the building, talking about things that were to come.
Absolutely.
And then,
boom.
Yeah. So I was wondering if you could provide some insight, perhaps.
Sure. So I don't know the time frame because it's a blur. But when we were there, it was all harmony. What happened was I connected with the person that was in charge of what's called the Black Bloc. People had been trying to get me to meet with this person for years, probably about 5 years, ever since she came to the town because she's from out of state.
Oh, she's not a
Rhode Island.
Oh.
So ever since she came to town, people were, you got to meet with this person, Kobi. You got to meet with her. And I was just doing my thing in Providence, minding my business. Oh, boy, sometimes I should have listened to my mother. And my friends in this instance, because they all was like, no. I said, so I brought them all. I met with this lady. We had a lot of conversations, and she just kept saying over time, we got to get you over here. We got to get you over here. Because she knew what I was doing in Providence. We was moving and shaking over here. So my thought process was, all right, let me see what she got. So I went over, and without my friends first, visited this huge building, beautiful 3-story building with a basement, all these rooms, but it was just a shack. It was a shell. It was an old investment firm. So it was just a shell. I was like, I don't know what we can do with this. So when she made the deal, it was like, hey, you can come in here and do whatever you want. Just, you got to pay this certain amount, and everything will be fine. I was like, we can do whatever we want, right? And she was like, sure. So when I came, I never told her my idea because I learned from that. So when I came in, I just started building, literally and figuratively. And my campaign manager, who was pretty much, a painter, a carpenter, and everything else. My whole team just turned into all of that. I know we all learned plenty. I learned how to put in these floating floors, all of that stuff. And we did it with our own money. We all chipped in every month. People chipped in. And plus I had, was sitting on a little bit of grant money that was allowed, that I got special permission to use for this project. That's where the down payment came down. By the way, it was $50,000.
Oh.
So that's $50,000 I could have used for anything else. But no, I believed in this. So it depleted the grant funds that, were given to me to use for a community. So I gave that money, still have the receipts to this day of all the payments that I made. And everything was going well. We built the place out. We started opening it up. My goal there was to have a jazz club on floor 1. Yeah. We had a VIP lounge on which the Patriots and some of the Celtics and stuff were already pre-booking because they liked it and they knew what it was going to be. We were that far out. The jazz club was coming along. We had a couple of events there. They were packed houses, standing room only. Hundreds of people could fit in this place. And downstairs, we made it into a little cave. I wanted to call it a man cave because my wife won't let me have one. But as my campaign manager can tell you and the other ladies in my crew, they wouldn't allow that man cave thing. It was a hangout room. Right. But
why won't they let us have fun?
I know.
Oh my God!
Let us know.
We had darts in there. We had TVs all over the place.
They just want to smoke their cigars.
Oh yeah, exactly. I was a cigar smoker at the time, and so does my campaign manager smoke. So anyhow, fast forward, move the story a little quick, moving ahead to the time of turbulence. We had a lot of good months and all that. About a year went by. Everything was good. I think that's when you guys came around, when we was kind of up and going. Yeah. With a lot of plans. I planned on being here. I planned on being there forever. Until one day, this person comes in with a different mindset. I mean, different demeanor, different look on their face, everything. Yeah, we need to talk. Just talking, totally reckless to a grown person. And I
just like that,
out of nowhere. Didn't know what. We didn't do anything. According to this person, we were not paying. We were, and it was all just. Now everybody's at the tables looking because all these people pay. Right. So now they're looking at me like, Kobi, you're not paying the bills. Like I'm like, come on, guys. So literally, when she left the table from that last meeting, we all stayed around and we just said something's going on, and everybody could tell. Yeah. Sure enough, to speed it up a little more, I just said, you know what? She gave me an ultimatum. She said, either you can pay this certain amount or you can leave. I said, well, I'm leaving. First of all, no one's going to give me an ultimatum like that. And then we had a contract and everything. Yeah. So I could afford it. I could have went to court. I could still do that if I wanted to, but I chose not to. And that's why a lot of people kind of think in the streets and stuff that I got kicked out or no. I just chose my sanity over, over the fight. It's, man, I'm like, so I'm out. I mean, literally, I was in a week. Now, it took us a year to get that building like that. I was so upset, and so was my team. We were so upset at how we were treated. We were out in like 10 days for a full 3-story building, hundreds of square feet, thousands of square feet, and we definitely, left a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, y'all put a lot of work in over there.
A lot of work. I mean, we had studios, and then we had art. We had tenants that had to leave, and they had the last minute tell them I had to go. Some of them still take it. Actually, one just came here last week. This tenant is still in that building. And they came, and it was very funny because it's a Latin tenant, and the English is not that great. She said, "It's no good when Kobi not there. It's no more good." I said, "Oh man," and I just hugged her and said, "I'm sorry, we had to leave," but she said it's not the same. So I asked them because I didn't know what was going on. I said, "So what is going on in the building?" They said, "Well, all of a sudden when you left, everything that you did over there, they did the same." They just, copied the whole thing, got it. So what it was, this is what I believe, that some money or something must have came through, a bigger offer, came through, and I guess it's business. People say it's business. That's business, Kobi. Wow. A bigger offer came through and moved us out. The place is beautiful. Where you guys were at, I got to show you pictures. Lauren, you might have pictures on your phone of what it looks like up there. Beautiful. When I say they probably paid a couple $100,000 to fix it, we were putting in scraps and they just came in after
equity.
us, swagged it out. And so I said, so what's happening up there? It was like, no one's there.
Really?
No one goes. They said it's beautiful. They said once in a while there's a little crowd up there, maybe once or twice a month. And they said that there's nothing happening at that building. So it's pretty much So to this day, my whole Black Bloc experience, that's what I got. So when people hear about things like the Black Bloc and all that, there's some of my very best friends around the Black Bloc doing amazing things. There's restaurants over there. There's a nightclub, all doing amazing things. But I just chose not to go back. I think I've been back once since then.
Wow.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
'Cause,
It's heart breaking because I knew what we could have did. You guys knew. You
Yeah.
saw it.
Yeah.
You came in the building. You
goodness.
felt the energy,
Yeah, there's a lot of excitement.
and that's what we want. We wanted to do that. So
So that was in Pawtucket. Do you currently live in Providence still?
yeah, I always lived in Providence. I mean, I moved around. Like I told you guys, I lived in Hawaii. I moved around when I was after I got out of the military. Years ago, I had the traveling bug because I was traveling for free, and then I realized it costs a lot of money to go to these places when you're not in the Navy. So I lived all over Ohio. I lived in Honolulu. I lived in Virginia, and then I came back to Providence, and this is when I started my work, and then started a family as well.
Nice. So I remember you ran for mayor. Do you want to talk about how that went? Or
Sure. We can talk about that. So that was the best loss of my life. I like to tell people, I took an L, but man, it felt like a win. In history, they never talk about it. We got the highest numbers of votes for a newcomer ever in the state of Rhode Island, not just in Providence, because we ran a real grassroots effort.
Yeah.
It was we were getting $5. That's what $5 from people. We were getting $2 from people. It didn't matter, and everybody was chipping in. I'd like to still right now on this podcast thank a lot of people that helped out back in 2018 because I don't know where I'd be right now if I didn't run that race because I'd probably be out of state because that's when I really kind of got my belief back in the people here. Because all my friends, all very successful men and women, Atlanta, North Carolina, they're all over the place. Come on, Kobe. They're all still to this Texas. Come on down. And they're doing very well all in those places because they don't have to prove their blackness. They don't have to look for the black clique. They're in it. They're it. So here, it's tough. And so myself and my team, which came out of the election, it's called KFM, Keep Forward Movement, but it's also Kobi for Mayor. So now that, especially when we talk to the political folks, they have no idea it means Kobi for Mayor. As the mayor of Providence said on live TV, we'd love to thank the KFM group. I'm like, no idea. Got him. They have no idea what it means, but now everybody knows what it means. It means Kobi for Mayor, but now it just means Keep Forward Movement. So this group came out of that. Some of my best friends, including my campaign manager, we grew up together as kids, but we were never with each other. But now, we're every day talk to her and all of the friends in the KFM group. We have a group chat that's just crazy. It's kind of like a podcast that I would not like to publicize because we say some real ratchet stuff in there sometimes.
that's a good group chat.
It's
then
a great group chat. We go from ratchet to politics very quick. And it's funny, you can tell the people that jump in for the ratchetness, and then we got
back out.
the people that,
Let me know when you guys are done.
Let me know when you're done talking adult stuff. Like, we want to have fun again. So, running for mayor was one of the best things I ever did. Yes, I did almost lose my family with my wife, and I don't want to say my kids were going to leave me. They would have halfway stayed with me, but my wife definitely was on her way out the door because she said, I just can't. This is too much. It was a lot. I mean, I was working full time. As soon as I get in the house, I was out the door till like midnight every day, all 7 days a week. Now, no 5, 7 for a year.
If I may ask, how long have you and your wife been married?
19.
Nice.
God bless.
Wow.
God bless.
And we're sticking in it. I'd say that publicly. We go through some tough times, but we are staying together. I am
That's
not.
the way it goes, man.
I am not
Way it
going to
goes.
give up on this marriage, on this union. I definitely. That's part of what makes me because I see a lot of kids. One of my youth just got married. He said, "I want to be just like you, Mr. Kobe, married."
That feels. I love that feeling.
That feeling is better than anything. I'm
Seriously.
like, so all the times, yes, I was about to leave or give up because I still think a lot of the men like myself that were raised by single parents, especially raised by women, I just think a lot of the toughness and all that stuff, and I know people don't like when I talk like this, but I believe that. And I have a lot of friends, unofficially, I didn't do no research, but a lot of my friends, we sit around and talk, we are kind of weak. We kind of do give up a little too early. We do. We don't stick these in, and we didn't get this stuff wasn't instilled in us to stick it out and to be there and get in the mud. I didn't like what you said. I'm leaving.
I'm out.
that happens a lot. And when I really look at it, I'm like, was you raised by a single parent? Yeah. Was it your mother? Yeah. So I've been doing my own research over the last 20 years, and I've worked at the prison, and I've worked at the training schools, and guess what? All those men, raised by moms, not all, let me stop saying that, raised by single parent, and usually 9 out of 10 times a woman is either their mother or it's even worse when it's raised by their grandmother.
Right.
So we just, so the race, we taught a lot of people things. A lot of people right now come up to me, and that was 2018, so we're talking 6 years, still come up to me to this day. People that just lost their race yesterday were like, Kobi, now I know what you mean when you say that was the best loss of your life. Because it meant so much to so many people, and I didn't know that. I still see people, they got the Kobi hats on. I just shared the Kobi rap video that we had, which I still love, and I see the kids in it that right now have kids and graduated from college, and I'm like, man, that was tough. That was good stuff. So it's not a good feeling. I mean, I don't think I've cried so much. Man, my whole team was crying. I've never seen 30, 40 people just crying. We were crying for a long time, too, because we really had that much faith. In our hearts, we knew, like, this is going to be so tough to do. But we still had faith down to the last hour. We were still together, huddling around the TV like we were going to miraculously get that 1,000 votes that we were short. But the mayor respected it. He said he spent a lot of money. He said to me, "I spent a lot of money making sure you didn't beat me." And by the way, we probably raised total $50,000.
Wow, that's saying something.
He probably used 1.5 million.
Yeah. I was gonna say you probably answered my question. Do people still call you Mayor Kobi? Because in my head, I have to stop myself from calling you Mayor Kobi. I
appreciate that. I don't like. I mean, I feel bad for the mayors because when they come to the hood, when they come to the hood, they be like, "You're not Mr. Kobi." There's kids that are faithful with it. There's grown people. You're still my mayor. Oh yeah.
As he says to the mayor.
Who are you?
I love it.
He just got to sit there and take it.
So the DJs, a lot of the DJs around, they coined it. They just say, "You're the mayor of the culture." So and that's what they call me. So I'll take that. I like that.
That's a great title.
Yeah.
Because the culture is so robust, and it's such a big thing to be a part of.
Absolutely.
So being called the mayor of the culture, that's impressive.
I hold that with a badge of honor for sure. I love that, and it means a lot of different things. So like you said, elections, just changing cultures too, changing things, and that's what I'm trying to do. And that's we can go right into this election, the school board election. It's something new. I wanted to be the first to say in history. This is how you go down in history. I always think about my daughters. I always think about, they're both avid readers. I always think about when they pick up a book or when they go to City Hall and see my name, because my name's on a plaque in there for the Martin Luther King Award. So they see that when they pick up books, when they do reports and things like that, and Google. My kids still to this day, my 15-year-old, she thinks it's the best thing in the world. She's like, Dad, sometimes I just, when I really don't want to do a lot of research, I just do a book report on you. She's like, and my friends are like, that's not your father. And she said, I show family pictures. That's me.
Because they can Google him.
Yes.
Our kids can't Google us, man. No youngins could Google you.
Imagine.
What they gonna find?
I mean, they could. Nothing good.
Your MySpace page?
Yikes.
It is kind of exciting. And my daughter's in the last year at Howard.
Oh, wow.
She has used me for assignments a few times, and the kids in her class are very impressed because they're like, man, your dad's up there. So they don't know it's just Little Providence. They don't know.
I mean, it's a big city.
Running for mayor, man.
That's what people say. And
Capital.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that title and what I do here in the community. So running for school board is no different. I'm not going to let these folks deem this position not important.
Right.
School boards are very important. I mean, we do set the trend for what happens at the school department. Yes, we don't have, due to the takeover and everything, and we can talk about that as well. Due to the takeover since 2019, we don't really have the power anymore. It's not ours. The school department is under RIDE. So we really don't have direct control over a lot that happens. But we still have connectivity to the people. Nobody can ever stop that.
Right. So why did that? I didn't know about that.
School takeover.
Yeah. Yep. What's that about?
So there's a big thing called the takeover plan. It's the TAP plan. The TAP they call it. And what happened in 2019? They deemed an Angelica Infante Green. I just call her AIG. It drives me crazy trying to spit it out. So AIG came in as a commissioner. She's out of New York City. She came in to hold clean up. So many people come in to clean up.
I was going to say the example with the building in Pawtucket and then that with somebody from another state. What is...
Me and the transplants, they killed me. I don't even want to get into it yet. We'll get into it, though.
We can get into it because it drives me crazy. For some reason, people from Rhode Island that are in higher positions don't really have a lot of faith in other people from Rhode Island to do the job.
I don't understand that.
Even the mayor right now is from Chicago.
I was going to get into that too.
He's not from here. He's not from here, but you can tell the different things that he deems important. And I'm not going to knock the guy because he's okay with me, but I'm not going to sit here and praise anything he's doing because it's just baseline.
Right.
It feels very selective.
Very selective. Thank you.
Man.
So this takeover, it's a big deal. To where the state took over the school, and that hasn't happened.
Right.
And it doesn't happen often. Well, the state took over because it was almost like the city was not doing their job because of all these years of failed students like myself. I always say I was a failed product of Providence schools because a lot that I left with and didn't know.
What schools did you go to?
Central High School.
You went to Central, okay.
Central. Any of you guys?
Classical. We were right there.
Okay.
That's where we all met in classical.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So a lot of my family members went to classical. I rebelled. I should have went. Yes. A lot of them, I have cousins that go there now. No, I think they're all out now. They're all in college. But yeah, went to Central, and I just didn't have a good experience.
Yeah.
We had one guidance counselor for like 2,000 kids. She was about 70 at the time.
Oh, man.
And, college was not, that's why I went to the military. College, it was either the military, like I told you guys the last time on the podcast, it was the military or the block. And my mom was like, oh, heck no. You better go somewhere. Because college wasn't even mentioned.
Right.
I probably would have went to college if someone would have talked to me about it.
We were just talking about that on a recent episode, how they've updated the requirements to graduate.
I saw that.
And how you have to fill out a FAFSA to graduate. And we were like, thank you, because so many people who don't even know that that's just the first step.
Seriously, like, what is a FAFSA? I'm scared right away. I don't know what this thing is.
I love you got to get it. So the new requirements, some of them, that's a great segue to that. Resume. You have to have a resume before you graduate. I've been pushing for that myself, and a lot of people on my team. We're trying to push for, not only black studies, but we're talking about just basic budgeting.
Life studies.
It took me and I'm always very transparent with this stuff. When I was in the military, I didn't know what to do when I got that check.
Yeah.
I didn't know because it was no budgeting, and I never blame my mom. She hates when I tell these stories because she thinks it makes her seem like an unfit mom. No, you were the best mom. My mom was working 3 jobs.
Salute moms.
And I got pregnant when she had received a full ride to South Virginia.
Oh, wow.
Back in those days, that was big. She was one of the top of her class in high school at Central. So she just decided she couldn't go because you couldn't go to school with a baby then. They didn't have all these programs in the 70s. So yeah, the new graduation requirements are, it took so long to get there. Resume, 4 years of math. I mean, I think they did away with that foolishness because it used to be. I never liked the language requirements.
Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, so many of us have taken those language, those classes, and we haven't used it now at all.
Haven't done a thing.
Haven't done a thing with it, and I just think.
Wait, I'm lying. I did a little. Never mind. Spanish.
I wish. Well, if
I took right, 20%. See, look, I'm using the math.
There you go. So, yeah, that's So getting back to the turnaround plan. Yeah, so that was in 2019. So here we are. Fast forward to 2024. It was up for review about a month ago, about 2 weeks ago, and it didn't pass per se. It wasn't in the legislature or nothing like that. It was just a meeting they was having. They asked the school board because we don't have that much power. I'm speaking into existence. I'm not on the school board yet, but because the school board doesn't have that much power per se because of the takeover, they did get their opinion. Now, the school board unanimously voted that they would like the city of Providence to take the schools back.
Right.
And that's what I thought was going to happen because I watch the news pretty regularly. I'm like, okay, they're getting it back next year, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden they were like, what is it, 3 or 4 more years?
4 years.
What?
Yeah.
4 years for it's even considered going back. It's still not
crazy.
Still not much. So the commissioner, the AIG, she definitely said no. By the way, she hasn't been to a school board meeting once.
Wow.
Not once. I thought she would go to this one. I said, I'm going to meet the lady. Nope. I've never met her. So when community leaders like myself haven't met the commissioner of schools, which I've met every other one, every superintendent, I've had sit-downs with them. I mean, I get to sit down with the mayor, the governor, and all that, and it's not because of who, I am. It's because of what I do.
Right.
And they respect that. And if you want to build community, you got to get with the community leaders.
Right.
Is she a remote worker?
Not a COVID worker.
No, not a COVID lady. She might be in New York, all I know.
Oh, my goodness.
But I know she makes about 300 and change.
Yeah, she ain't here.
So,
Go where?
yeah. So
Send a
that's
few
4
emails.
years locked in. Just imagine you're making 300. 300 and something down. You got a job where nobody's checking on you because her only boss is the governor.
Yeah.
And he's busy.
What's he doing? Yeah, we don't want to talk about that.
He got the whole bridge coming down.
At night.
People like, we can't sleep. I'm like, well, when you want them to take it down?
Yeah, but blow it up during the day like you're supposed to do.
Well, there's traffic.
Did you hear what it sounded like?
I can't imagine.
Yo, jackhammer to that thing bang, 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 at night. Yeah. At night.
Oh, wow. I heard people complain about it, but I didn't know it was that bad.
You could hear it from where you are?
Oh, no, not from where I'm at. I watched the video because I was like, it can't be that bad. I said, oh, no, I'd be pissed. Right. I'd be pissed. Yeah, it's crazy.
I saw an article briefly today where they were like, people got to go to work. Kids got to go to school. I'm like, it must be pretty bad.
With my 10-month-olds, if we had, nah. No.
Be out there in your road on that construction place.
Go on, get.
Damn that.
Yeah, I have personal gripes with the whole transplant things, and BIM does for sure.
And I've been told y'all.
Yes.
I'm one of those people I try not to notice differences and stuff because then I get annoying because I start telling people, hey, I poke them and say, hey, did you notice? Did you notice this? Did you notice this? So it was the license plates, like around COVID and after that, more Massachusetts plates, and that's
Even
fine because it's right
recently.
there. What's that?
Even my mom mentioned recently. She was like, you notice there's a lot of out-of-state plates? I'm like,
So it started with that, and they drive a particular way, and how the whole mass whole thing. I'm like, fam, there's a little too many of y'all. I'm getting uncomfortable. Me and my wife have a couple of properties, so a few people from Massachusetts, a lot more, started applying whenever it was available. Then that increases. Then we're starting to see New York plates, Connecticut plates,
Texas,
Texas,
it's all over.
So I don't. Yeah, it's I don't know.
I mean, being somebody that's been an executive, I know what it is. I 500 employees. Every time there was a job for Top Spot, they want to do a talent search. I'm like, but I'm saying to myself, dudes in my hood can, Lauren can do this job. I would recommend that to you guys.
Promote from within.
But you know what? What's their history with it? Why? Where did they work at before? I'm like, where were you before you got this job?
Right.
You wasn't on this level.
And no matter what your job is, somebody got to teach you how to do it anyway.
Somebody got to teach you how to do it. And when I stepped into my executive job, I had never been that level of an executive, but they gave me a chance. And that was, luckily, I had somebody over me that believed in me, but everybody else didn't. And then when I got in the job, I killed it. And they wanted me, for the next job. And that's where, I ended up leaving there because, like I said, I was about to be up there with the commissioner making that kind of money. And, that's when they changed the cards and said, oh no, we're not allowing that. You can be number 2, but you ain't going to be up there at number 1. And I said to myself, well, that's what I thought I was being groomed for.
Right.
No, it's for somebody else pretty much. And sure enough, as I will say publicly, white women run most of the organizations, especially nonprofits in the state of Rhode Island.
Yo, I like when people are honest.
Yeah, they
somebody got to say it.
White women.
Somebody got to say it.
And the number 2s, white women, then it's white men, and then it would be minorities. And the number 2s, I bet you if you look around the state of Rhode Island, do a little research, the number 2s around the state you would see how many people are called. You'll be like, oh my God, they're really just number 2. I don't want to say just, sounded disrespectful, but they're number 2s. Yes, they're making good living and stuff like that, but when are they going to be, Because
the number 2 is the one who does the real work.
Right. Done the real work.
And the number 1 gets the shine for it. Managing up, yes.
Thank you. Just like I use the principal and vice principal thing. Yeah. The principal's the guy that just walk around with
Right.
Good.
In our high school, the vice principal, Mr. Tavares, that's the one everybody respected.
That's a fact.
Does all the grind, does the suspensions, all that.
Scared of her.
Principal is on the news.
You didn't like her because she was the top dog.
But you see her out there at the supermarket after you get a family, be like, thanks, Mr. Thanks.
Word.
I appreciate you. But so that's how it is. So unfortunately, in the state of Rhode Island, this implant thing, and I don't hide from that.
Right.
I am not a fan of it. Not knocking anybody that coming from other places, but if you ever lived in another state and saw how they treat people from out of town,
Right.
you're not getting the job that the dude that lives up the street and was born and raised in Texas, in Houston, was born and raised there, and you come from Rhode Island.
No way.
Right.
You are not.
No way.
You better not even apply.
No way.
Yeah.
You're not getting it. It's here that we do the opposite.
Yeah.
And it drives me batty because they are not smarter than us. I will say that.
No.
People that just because you're from out of state, they are not smarter than us. And actually, the number 2 person like me, now you got to teach them where to go,
Right.
Right.
where to eat.
They don't know.
No, actually, you
How to
want to
fit
connect
in.
with these people over here. Well, if I know this stuff already, what
Right.
do we need you for?
What do I need you for?
Man,
Say it again for the people in the
Sorry.
back. Like, why are you in my way?
Right.
And all they're doing is driving up housing prices,
Listen.
buying up all the property, driving people out. You've got people living under tarps on Branch Ave. Like, it's crazy
it
right
rents
now.
through the roof. Yeah.
Rent is through the roof.
Property, that's why we're with my team, we're really pushing property and home ownership and things like that, investments and all. That's where we're at now. We worked so much with the community, giving out free stuff. We have free programs. So now we're even baby stepping. We're starting to charge for programs. We're trying to get our people acclimated to what's really going to happen.
We have to.
Because giving out all these free programs and all that, like some of these housing programs, they're giving houses and apartments to people that don't have jobs. That's not realistic.
Nope.
Right.
Let's stop.
And you're creating more issues for people
So
than you think.
one of our team members works in the housing field, and she says if you could, she of course doesn't share it because she's a true professional, but if you could see the number of people and number of calls I get daily, just expressing how they gonna lose their house, and she'll look and say, "You just bought this house in January."
See?
Because what happened was they pretty much gave them the house, all these little bonuses, all these little things. You got the house for almost
Down
free.
payment,
You had
assistance,
$10,000 in the
all
bank. You think people that never had a house before, what they gonna do with that? You think they're saving that for an emergency?
Right.
No, they're on
The
El
boiler
Segundo.
breaks and now that's it.
Or they got a new whip.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand that 6 months down the line, that water tank is going to break down.
Yep.
They don't understand that all these bills are going.
Yeah, you only had 2 more years on that roof or something. Yeah.
The roof.
The
Family.
Listen.
The roof.
You're paying for stuff like roofs, right? That's
Raise the roof.
so. That's what we're doing a lot. I'd like to say our team has grown, and that we're doing a lot of that. A lot of us are homeowners now. We weren't running for. I wasn't when I was running for mayor. Everybody's leveling up.
Nice.
Better jobs, better costume, and I'd like to, give all that praise to the team that's been around me. They're the reason why I got the job I got, and a lot of them will say the same. The reason why they got the jobs they got, not that we, got them the position. It's that because of all the different things they've learned and all the different people in the different rooms that we were put in.
Right.
Because we've been in some rooms. We when I email the mayor, I get a meeting within a couple of days.
Wow.
Other people they got to wait months, and it's not. And once again, it's not because I'm Kobi Dennis. It's because the work that Kobi Dennis does, and the team and my team stretches out wide. There's at least 40 of us for sure. So and I love it because we're in different places, and everybody doesn't wear the "I'm down with Kobe" shirt or "I like me," because they know better. Because sometimes you can't say my name because it's like, not that Negro.
Right.
But we're proud of that. And everybody, we all support each other, and we're trying to spread that unity within the community and get people to know that we're not this like conglomerate that's you can't come and be with us or you got to pay dues or whatever, but you got to put in the work down. You're not gonna just come get down with us and just be down with us for the good. You got to be with us when we get those calls about kids getting shot. We get those calls about people in jail. I just talked to somebody, expungement. I got to have the hard conversations. When I had to call the family of the little girl, God rest her soul, when I had to call them and say, hey, they're sharing a GoFundMe on my page. They want me to share it. I had to call them and say, is this real? You know how hard that was? I literally got off the phone and was in tears with my wife. I said, I felt like such a jerk, but with the current climate, I had to.
Yeah.
Because there's people who are bad actors sometimes.
Bad actors. And they don't care that I worked 25 years to get a good reputation. And I'm tell you right now, not that little girl's not worth it, because she definitely is. But man, when so many people in a community funnel through what I do, and my team, I just had to do it. I couldn't even hit the share button.
Yeah.
I felt bad because, and then when I called it, and it was so good that the person on the other line, one of the family members said, Kobi, I'm sitting here with the mother right now, and she said, please don't feel bad about asking. We know why you did. We know where it's coming from. We know you're not just trying to start trouble. We know you're being sincere about this, and we appreciate you even calling and sharing. I've shared it, and of course, people are donating now. And I'm not saying just because of me, but there's people that don't know them or don't come down to the community. They see it on the news, all that's sad and all the little girl, but there's people now that didn't know these families that are donating, and I'm happy about that. Yeah.
And there's people who can't do that due diligence like you can.
Right.
So when they see you co-sign it, it's like, okay, I can feel comfortable
absolutely
supporting this, knowing that it's legit versus I don't really know, because unfortunately, especially after COVID, there's a lot of people who scam.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And, so you just got to really be able to fact check things. So it's good that you were able to do that and to what's the word? Thank you, legitimize it.
Yeah, for such a horrific, during such a horrific time, to have those conversations, and that's one of the things that my team, we do, on scene, people don't know because we don't talk about that on Facebook. People think,
that's the place for
all
that.
the time. Oh, Kobi, he's always on Facebook. Yeah, I talk about that because I want you guys to know what I do to a certain extent.
Right.
But they don't know about the other stuff.
Nope.
Like I just saw on Facebook, one of the young men just signed up for the military. I didn't put on under his post. He got in the military because I co-signed and talked to the Army and said, hey, this kid's all right, because that was his last step. That's what he needed. He needed somebody in the community to say that he was okay, and a character reference to the government. Now, it wasn't just for a job. They wanted something must have happened in his past, whatever. But they wanted to know, is this kid stable? Is he all right? Yeah. And I wrote a long old letter, praising him, his family, and it's all true. But there's nobody really in our community that can do that. I can't. Besides my team, there's not many people that are older than me that I could do that to. Yeah. I'm 53. I don't know people older than that I can call up and say, hey, I need a recommendation for this executive position. They're my peers. I don't have anybody over me doing that. So that's why it's a lot of weight being who I am, because it's a heavy torch to carry, because I don't really I didn't get it passed down to me. I created this.
Yeah, it's back to the transplant thing. Like, a transplant can't do that.
Right.
On somebody's behalf. You came from somewhere, you volunteer at some place, and I'll do what I can. No, I know you. I can vouch for you.
I lived on this street.
It makes a difference.
You've been among the people.
Yeah.
You've been a voice, a constant voice.
Consistency is everything with this position that I have, because it doesn't shut off. My kids hate to go to the market with me. When I say hate,
you must run into everybody.
Everybody.
A 10-minute store run turns into a couple hours.
At least. And that's not an exaggeration.
Jeez.
My wife will say, "Oh no, I'll go get.
I'll go get you. You stay home."
Spoiled by the time you get back. Even my cousin Gloria, she'll watch this. She'll get a who that is. She's like, I love you to death, Cole, but I don't like to walk nowhere with you. She said, because it's the worst, longest, most dragged out walk. And I can't. You can't. You got to stop it. One time you brush somebody off. All over social media. Oh, he think he all that now. And that happens to me still. And I try to get to everybody. People, who's he think he is? And, we give out toys every year. That's a funny story. We get out toys every year. And it was, freezing outside. I just remember this one story last year. It was freezing outside, and we had a whole truck Cardis. Once, shout out to the Cardis boys. They, that's the connects I got. Like people, ain't nobody in the hood can call the Cardi brothers up.
One of them almost hit me, but keep going.
Here we
go. All right.
So, the
fine. They were Russian. It's fine.
No, those brothers are cool. I vouch for the Cali boys.
Even if they can't drive.
He pulled out that parking lot crazy. Man, he's still late.
And Kobe's waiting for me. I gotta go.
That would have been the best accident you ever had.
Fam. I was like, this much. Come on, man.
Nah.
Nairobi, my favorite man.
Nairobi.
Nairobi.
That was fly. Nah, the Cottage Brothers. So we reach out to them every year, and 1,000 truckload trailer trucks to us. We flood the hood. And nobody in my neighborhood better say they didn't have no toys growing up in the last 20 years. If they did, they're lying. Yeah, because we get them. All right, and we distributed them out to the last toy for years. Been doing it for like 10 years now, since I had a connection with them. So it just shows that it doesn't matter that one time. Yep. So a lady pulls up. Now we got the truck. The truck is there, and it's full of toys. But we were waiting for more people to come. I don't know, whatever it was. We wasn't doing the distribution yet. Right. We were just going to do the setup, which is a whole. People don't know nothing about that. Right. Yeah. We spend hours setting up toys and categorizing dolls, and of course the black dolls go on the front. Yeah. So that's all that stuff. So lady pulls up. I'm here for the toy drive. First of all, she just came off wrong like that. Right. So now I'm one of the people, our whole team, we can't hold it. I'm like, excuse me? She's like, yeah. When are you giving out the toys? I'm like, oh, you got to set. She didn't even let me finish. Well, whatever. You think you're all that? Word. I was like, wow. I said, you're coming to get toys from me. And going to come here and dress me down. And I didn't even get to spit my story out, which was we're just trying to set up the toys. And what happened? She's like, whatever, and got in her car and drove. I say, see you later. But I mean, it's just that one instance where people just, wow. Now I think I'm all that because I'm giving out toys to my community that's less fortunate. Right. Yeah, I'm cool. So we've been doing that for years, and we're trying to even that. We consider a hand up, not a hand out. We want to let people know we're hoping that even the person that comes and takes 3 bags too many. Right. We're hoping that they're going back to the street sharing them. Right. Like we're hoping that, and that's how we are too. People get upset and say, "Oh, Kobe, that one got too many." I said, "Listen, we just gotta hope that they did the right thing with it. Don't stress over that because you can't control it." It's a fact. So that's what we're trying to pass on to the community. I think it's working. I got a lot of faith in this area. I'm not leaving. I keep telling people I'm not moving out of Rhode Island. People, I'm not leaving. Why should I have to be pushed out? That's what I don't like. And we talk about the implants, and we can have a whole show on that. Just still home. I just had a meeting with a gentleman, cool guy, but he's like, I'm from Cali. I'm from Cali. He said, I can't. And it's funny, we was having a great conversation. He was just keeping it a buck. He said, people look at Broad Street, and he said, I'm from Cali. People look at Broad Street and be like, oh, my God. And then he said, I look at Broad Street and be like, ding, ching, ching. Right. Mm-hmm. See, different how much mentality. Money can I make over here? I said, I know, because you're from. See? Right. Yeah. But so our people, Providence is the. He said, please. He was like, so, of course, he owns properties. Yep. He owns several properties. Yep. He's part of a real estate group they that buys up buildings. They got a different mind frame, man. They got a different mindset.
They'll say, oh, these 3 blocks right here, oh, this could be and we'll put a supermarket underneath it. And then
the way we're so obsessed with Zillow is crazy. Like, just the way they're just sticking buildings onto dead-end streets. Yeah. They're not even cutting the grass, talking about $650K. Wow, like, here you go. You didn't even try to, like...
Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. I know Canada had to do certain things to prevent foreigners, because they had a lot of... It's not my whole China thing, but they had a lot of Chinese people going into Canada and buying properties at a clip for millions and millions of dollars, which drove it up crazy. So now you have to be like... either a citizen or you have to like have lived there for a certain amount of years before you can buy anything.
And that's one of the things
we have to do something state to state now that kind of keeps it, because you're inflating everything, but it's way out of what the people that live there can pay for. The state, the country, something has to happen for that to change, because where does it end? $2 million property on Broad Street. Who can afford it that lives in Providence in that area?
That's one of the things I've been like thinking about, because when they're like on the news, oh, we're trying to figure out how to fix the housing crisis. I'm like, it's very simple. Just stop letting the people that are buying up all the properties buy everything first. Right. Give other people an opportunity to buy something before you open it up to XYZ.
How do you limit that? Where you from, fam? First. Yeah, where you from?
How many properties have you bought in the last year? All right, so you don't get to buy first. Yeah. Let this family bid first, and if they come up with it, then they get it.
But it's all private. Right, so how do you shut that down? Because Darren can say, "Yeah, I want to cop this in this other state. You got the down payment, all right."
Yep. Well, that's what it all boils down to.
Money's money. I think.
Who has? It's the haves and have-nots for real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they can monopolize. There's a couple of people and a couple of business groups around here that I do not like. Actually, me and Lauren live in the area. Gosh, we live in the north, and everybody knows.
I
who
know
I'm
the
talking
name.
about.
Yep.
And so I'm not gonna dog them publicly, but they know who they are, and I don't care.
Cousin texts me all the time
But
about
it's
them.
terrible because, all right, you monopolize the neighborhood, fine, but then when I hear the horror stories
Right.
about slumlords, I'm like,
Right.
that group,
Word.
they got more money. They must own 150 houses,
Yeah.
Right.
I see it a lot. Yeah.
at least 150.
And counting.
Right, and it's still buying. Now they're buying buildings and doing what you said with the store on the bottom and making it, for rent on the top, and the numbers are astronomical, and there's no rent cap here, so that's why people are coming there too.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. Oh, it was
Yeah,
cheap. It's cheap for somebody who lives in Massachusetts to come on over and live over here. I always see them nasty cars over here all the time. Y'all can't drive.
Bad
Say
driving
something.
cars. They can't. I'm with you with that. They can be mad at me what they want, but an asshole's an asshole for sure.
Real. So now, like at a state level, because the state makes money, right? These people come in, they're spending money.
Right.
So how do we even, like, is it even realistic to say something needs to happen? Like, because my thing has always been, and y'all know I was annoying for years, just getting people to buy stuff.
Right.
Just buy. I know it's crazy and people are going to try to change, but at least if you own it, they can't take that from you at least, right? The more we
Not
own.
always. Not always. Eminent domain is real.
That's true. Yeah,
They
that's
can
true.
do that if they really want it. And
Yeah, that's true.
People in this area have a bad taste for that when it comes to the hospital.
Yeah.
It happened to a lot of
That's
good
true.
families. Actually, it was a lot of black families. I just noticed coming up the street. Did you guys see the lines were painted very nicely?
Yep.
That was, that's big for us. Now think about that. We're celebrating because the lines are painted nicely in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
But yet, half of this neighborhood is not owned by people that
true.
represent those lines.
Listen,
That was from
just
the
seeing the
past.
people that work in the hospital drive through the neighborhood every single day drives me crazy. Like,
Yeah.
you guys drive all crazy, but
Yep.
if we were in your neighborhood, you'd have signs up, drive like your kids live here.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
you don't drive like
Absolutely.
your kids live here.
They don't. Just right. If you stand out on Prairie Ave, which I do sometimes here, it's just like you
Forget
said.
about it.
I get mad. I get mad. In between every other wave is somebody in the car that don't wave to me because they don't know who I am. That's like, I don't know you because you don't even live here. You're getting to the highway.
Right.
Stand out there at 4:30, 5 o'clock,
Oof.
line all the way up and down Prairie. So just trying to do little things like the lines. A lot of my friends are responsible for that. That kind of stuff. I say little things, but it took years for them just to get them to paint those lines like that. And that's where we get full circle back to politics.
Yeah.
People complain around here all the time. But how many voter turnout yesterday was horrible. People have to vote. They have to vote. I know it sounds cliche and people like it doesn't do anything and all that, but guess what? Not voting is much worse.
It's true.
Your local elections affect your life way more than that presidential election does.
Absolutely.
People ask me all the time, why aren't you don't talk much about, on the national level. I say, because I am more concerned
my
about
local.
what happens right here in South Providence.
Absolutely.
I watch the news every day because I know that we can walk out of the studio and be okay. As long as you ain't in no mess, you're good in Southside 9 out of 10 times.
Absolutely.
You ain't 9 out of 10. You can have an unlucky day and get shot at. I'm not gonna lie, but most of the time I would tell anybody you can walk. I can walk these streets anytime.
Yep. Ain't like it
All
was.
of it, you know what I mean? So,
Listen, the amount of I'm gonna just say it. The amount of white people I see jogging on Eddie Street.
oh my God.
Still
in
weird to me.
Potter's
It's so
Ave
weird to me.
with their strollers and I'm like, y'all are really comfortable.
Oh, they very.
So things are definitely changing. Downtown, the whole trying to move Kennedy Plaza thing. It's
Move Kennedy Plaza.
yeah, they've been trying to move Kennedy Plaza
To where?
to like what is that street? Like where the gas station near District.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they've been trying to move it over there for a while.
Interesting.
wow.
Like the whole thing on like certain bus stops. I know they were
All of it,
spreading
No,
out.
they don't want any bus stops.
They don't want any buses over there because I feel like they want to move out the people who are there.
The homeless.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like that's where a lot of people just kind of
Chill.
Congregate.
Hang
Just
out.
right in the center.
Yeah.
and then they're like,
A
we're
lot
trying to
of
make this a
expensive
tourist
stuff.
area.
Attraction.
We're trying to get people
Well,
to
yeah,
come
because-
here.
And those high rises are residential.
Yeah, high-rises
So if you're
and
looking
hotels
out of
down
your
there, yeah.
$750,000,
And you
$800,000
see-
condo and you see somebody shooting up in KP,
And you're like, oh, that
Yeah.
makes
Oh
me
my
feel
God.
bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are on it. That's exactly what's happening there. They want to move it. And then it's a lot. The downtown association. They have groups
Downtown Association?
Oh yeah, they have groups.
Oh shoot! Oh man!
I saw yesterday there was a meeting at City Hall. I didn't get a chance to go where they were talking about the cannabis.
Yeah, I saw that too.
What do you call that?
Dispensary?
The dispensary zoning.
Okay.
They want to do rezoning so that they can have dispensaries in Providence and
'Cause that's what we need.
I don't
Some
know
money.
if you know more
Money,
about
money.
this, Kobe. Maybe you can help me out. We've been trying to figure out what happened to standards and what are they trying to do. Like I just watch it every single day. You know, we live right around the corner, and I'm just like, what is happening? I feel like there's almost like they're trying to hold that spot for something else, and I don't know. It just feels like something's happening, and we're not. And the Allen's Ave and
That
trying
whole area a little bit.
trying to get the metal people out so they can make it into a waterfront. I'm like, y'all ain't slick. Y'all ain't low.
Well, standards, I think it's a different story. Maybe now that it's not theirs, but I'm not going to speculate. But from hearing from some really credible sources, something happened with the family. I don't know what happened, but I know it was something bad because I literally was there like probably 2 days before the doors closed.
Right.
That was my place.
Right. Me too.
I mean,
What place?
It was
Standard
Standard
Liquors
Liquors.
on Eddie Street.
Beautiful place.
Okay.
Used to be a liquor store half the size of this room.
Yeah.
And then that's a family story. That's an American story. That family, when I say those people, they know
so
your name.
Nice. Yes.
That was like cheers.
That's my boyfriend says all the time. He's like, yo, you go in there, they know your name, they
Oh,
know what
man.
you came in here for.
Everything.
But my birthday's in May, so we had a birthday party, and a lot of people brought alcohol. So we didn't go to the liquor store because we had all this extra alcohol.
Yeah.
And then we went on a trip in Puerto Rico in June, and we came back from Puerto Rico, and they were closed. And we were like, yo, we didn't get to say goodbye. What happened? And,
No one got to say goodbye.
and it's
it was
so
that abrupt.
crazy.
Wow.
It was that abrupt. I mean, they were on Facebook. They used to be on my Facebook, everything. I don't see nothing. Something happened.
Okay.
Definitely. And
I hope
don't
they're
even want to.
okay.
Yeah, I hope they're okay because I haven't seen any of them. I haven't heard it, and I knew the sons. I've helped them out. Some of the sons, I've helped them out with different issues they had in the city. Like we were that close. They knew my mom, my grandmother, and everybody that walked in, they knew everybody's name. Like you
Literally.
said, what you wanted, even down to the kids. Yep, your favorite Doritos over there. I'm like, but these people, man, they really love this community because you can go in there and get
And they were white.
case of wine, and they were a white family.
It was
Yeah.
white.
They was white,
They
and it was a
love
nice,
that.
clean store. You know what I mean? And
Clean
they were about the community. It wasn't like we're just here to take your money. We're here to be part of this.
They were about that life for sure. I think about them often. Every time so now fast forward to now, what you're saying, there's some truth to that. I guarantee you.
Oh, man.
That that's a beautiful parcel.
Location.
Somebody's gonna
Yeah,
get it.
parking right there.
Park, everything. But now it's a dump. Did you see what it's like? That's the part that's killing me now. It turned into a dump.
Yeah.
Yes.
People are dumping.
They finally cleaned it up recently.
Oh, did they?
Yes, like a couple days ago. I was like,
Oh, I was gonna
because
say, it has
I'm
to
like,
be
I'm
recent.
trying to find the number. Who do I call? Because they're just throwing mattresses. I'm like, this can't be people from this community doing
Right.
this.
Right.
This has to be
Oh,
people
that's
driving
definitely not our
from
community.
other people saying, oh, well, this is now trash. Let's just throw our mattresses here. I'm like, what is this?
Most of the illegal dumping is coming, and I'm blaming it right on them.
Yeah.
People from out of state, because they
Absolutely.
say this is they go to a desolate area that's not being taken care of, and they just dump a mattress.
'Cause I'm
How
like,
does
the
nobody
mattress-
see that all the time?
Yeah, the mattress, whatever place is right down the street on Allen's Ave. Just drive 2 more minutes. You can get rid of your
it there.
mattress.
But
Why
if
are
you
we
don't
doing
know, you don't know.
Yeah, because
You
you're,
ain't
not
from
because
here.
you're not from here.
this? Crazy.
We were at PVD Fest. We saw you guys over there too, and we were kind of having a conversation because last year they had moved it to that other area, so they brought it back to the Kennedy Plaza in the different blocks.
Yep.
But it still felt a little different.
What do you mean?
So beforehand, it was and probably prior to COVID too. It was just a little bit more energy in it. Like when I went that Saturday, maybe it was the time of day, but it felt more like a Sunday. For
It
PVD
felt like a
Fest.
family,
Right.
relaxed, let's go hang out at the park kind of thing.
So we'll replace the words with less energy, then less space and more constricted areas to drink.
That too. I was gonna get to
So
that. Yeah.
Believe me, that changed the whole atmosphere of PVD
Yeah.
Fest. So PVD Fest of the past, you could drink open containers throughout the whole downtown.
Right.
I mean, I felt like I was the man with a beer in my hand.
Absolutely.
Walking in the middle of the street.
I felt like it was a big city barbecue.
That was a big.
Yeah.
So now it was. So the mayor, he's been open about it. He's not really a big fan of the festival thing, and I think a lot of it has to do with control and things like that. So people like that are very and very controlled and very business like that party atmosphere thing. it's just not his thing. I mean, not for us. I mean,
Right.
at one point in his life, because he is a recovering, he's he's an alcoholic, I believe.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yep, he said it publicly for sure. So he's definitely had a point in his life where that was the thing. So maybe that's it.
Gotcha.
I don't want to speculate, but I do know that he definitely clamped it down. Even the closing here was a genius part. And this is why I got to explain to the community when everybody's yelling, why is he closing at 6? I'm like, this is a very easy answer for somebody that's in the mix like myself. I know why he closed at 6. Because he closed at 6 because he wanted the words PVD Fest to be, the PVD Festival is over at 6. But they had parties till 2 and 3 in the morning.
Right.
So everything else is not in connection.
Something would have popped off.
Then they
It's
can't-
not associated
they
with
just
Right
get
on
tied
the
to
news
the name.
with
Yeah.
straight face.
Yeah.
PVD Fest ended at 6.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everything else that happened is just because they were in the street.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't. So that's what that's about.
Got it.
So that's called politics, and that's what people do. And am I mad at him for doing that? I'm not mad at him, but
Yeah.
that's the people don't see it like that. Oh, he's a hater. Oh, he don't want us to have fun. Oh, believe those parties were turned. You see them? I wasn't there, but I saw the pictures.
Yeah. I seen a couple videos. I was like, oh,
Okay.
I wanted to be there though. So next year, just to put it out there in the air, we're gonna have like a 30+
Hey.
party like that because I couldn't be there. There was too many.
Speaking my
youngins there.
language. Yes,
So definitely
please.
a 30+ type of vibe. We're putting it in existence, putting it in the air. We're gonna have our own little block party for sure after the PVD Fest. This is down. We'll get to go home, freshen up, and come back.
Fire.
At 8, 9, and turn up like older folks do.
Yes, sir.
Folks with families and kids and stuff. We party a little different.
Word.
I would say
Something to lose
that's
is real.
that was our theory at the Cornerstone Complex. We don't want anybody. It was 35+ there
Right.
because we want people with something to lose. We want people with insurance.
People in
People with
insurance.
insurance is real.
We want people with
People
bills.
with
Yeah,
kids
and
that
all-
they got to get home to.
Right. We want people that really care about leaving on a good note.
Yeah, I gotta get home to my kids, my family.
Facts.
Gonna jeopardize that.
Absolutely. Because that's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
And that and the music. And, I
I was
am
looking
a
forward to that jazz thing,
hip hop
man.
fanatic. But guess what? My wife does not want to go stand at a club like when we was 18 and 20 years old. She just doesn't want to do it.
Nope.
It's
Darren
just
stay looking for a chair.
Oh boy, I got nervous when we got in here because I only saw 3 chairs. And I was like, somebody's got
sit
it.
down. She don't want to stand at the bar. I still
Who
to
wants
this day
that?
still go out and do that here and there. But
Yeah.
I look around. I'm like, everybody's on their phone. Nobody, and I'm sounding like the real old guy in the room, but I am. I got you guys by some years, but it's just not
The
good
same.
time. I can do that at home. I can do that in my backyard. I can
Exactly,
do that on my front porch, which I enjoy. But to come out and then all of us are standing there like this, looking at each other, that's not fun to me. That's not anymore.
Nah, we know
And
fun.
my wife never wants to go. People like, are you married? Yeah, my wife just don't. She don't play around. She's like, I don't want that. I'll see you when you get home, dog. That's what I get all the time. But it's less and less for me now. Me and my friends, we hang out with each other now. We got houses now. We got yards. We got nice yards in front. Some people got front yards.
Let's go.
Ain't
We
nothing wrong
we
with a
got
little
tents.
porch
And
time.
we got porch time is great.
Oh.
Shout out to Rich Norris. Anybody that does the porch stuff, I love it. We got tents and tables and that's what we do now. Because the Cornerstone Complex was supposed to be a place for grown people
Yeah.
to go after work and say, I'm gonna go listen to some good music,
Yeah.
be around good, positive people,
Yeah.
and just have a good time and go. And I know I'm going home safely.
Yeah.
And I still don't have a place like that. I want to walk in and see 2 dudes like that.
Word.
2 dudes like that.
Word.
I want to walk in like that.
I've been saying that for years.
then
Years.
we don't have
And
one.
we were almost there.
They're very close. People were very proud. People were talking about investing, and believe me, people were excited about the notion of a jazz club right in Pawtucket, very close to Providence. We wanted it in Providence, but we was cool with Pawtucket. So we haven't given up on the dream. Just to let you know, last time I did talk to the mayor, I said, listen, I still want that. He was excited about it as well. He's like, cheapest. I know, because there's nowhere to go.
You don't have any.
And that's not a knock to these club owners, whatever, but there's really nowhere to go.
I don't
sit
want to
down.
go in this hookah.
There's no demo. We can say it.
hookah too, by the
Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah, we don't need a hookah lounge. We don't need whatever. I don't even know if there's DJs anymore. I want to hear music and enjoy myself and sit down.
And sit down is so important.
sit down.
Sit down.
So important.
Just before we close, I spent $20,000 on leather furniture from Cardi's.
Oh my
Sit down for me, so you know what it was, right?
Oh my goodness.
Give you a list of the people that came to the events that we had. political people, high up white, black, Spanish people in the state. Like, people were comfortable coming there and they had a good time.
Yeah.
And you know who I'm talking about. There were some people like running for governor. Just came and hung out with us and came to
couldn't
a comedy
believe it.
show we had.
Yeah.
They had fun rate along with us.
Oh, she's a millionaire. She
Our
got
goal
a lot of money.
is to like to share our culture with everybody, but to take care of it and not give it away.
Absolutely.
We want to share it with you.
Well
We
said.
don't want you to take it and
claim it as your own.
You
Yeah.
know, so this is the mayor of the country.
And that's
you.
that's the atmosphere we had. Nobody can say that they had like a venue where millionaires are coming and feeling comfortable. No one can say that. We did that.
VIP seats.
No.
Because it's like
No
back
one
in the
can
day,
say.
we would have Patriots players going to Barry's, going to
Joe
Jovan's,
Vons.
Yep.
going to what's the place that they call Water Place now?
Oh, Bella Vista.
Bella Vista.
Oh my
they used to
goodness.
be in there heavy, like,
Wow. Yeah, look at that.
and now the city's taking.
No, yeah, you're right. We did have a nice scene right there. And all my
Black
friends-
rep.
Oh, that's what I'm going. Black rep. That was the atmosphere we was going.
I thought that was gonna be here forever.
So there we are.
Oh man.
We were going for that right there. My two big things was I want some leather chairs, leather couches, and if there's any
Darren said,
smoke
can
in
you
the
get
air,
close
it
to
was
the
a
mic?
cigar. If there was any smoke in the air, it was a cigar or anything like that. And I wanted nice bathrooms too.
Yes.
Very important.
Nice
I-
bathroom sets the tone because, like, I've seen people post on Facebook, they're going to, like, local areas that are
when they
open
take the
now.
picture.
And the bathrooms, I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
I would just go home. There's no way I would stay there.
No thanks.
Thing was always, can you get a drink? When you go somewhere, you can't get
Oh,
Worse.
That is not fun.
It's not popping to have a line at the bar.
We had 3 bars,
Oh my
actually.
goodness.
Purposely,
like I shouldn't have to pregame to get here because I know I can't get a drink.
because I know I can't get a drink. Right. And overpriced somebody put on Facebook there, who got the best drink? And, it's not really about how much to pay for it. It's like, all right, am I getting a real drink? Am I getting an experience?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Am I
I'll
getting
pay
something
if I
worth
go
it?
to as a mixologist. He's doing all this stuff.
absolutely.
I know I'm paying an extra $5-10.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But if
it's worth it.
somebody's uncle's back there, just pouring a
Watered
measured
down
shot
Hennessy.
in a water. we won't talk about that.
Wait, what? What I say? Okay.
I know plenty of places around here that are doing that watered down, pouring into other bottles. And if you go to a bar, here you go. You go to a bar. I love how this conversation just go everywhere. You go to a bar and you never see people changing out bottles, taking out wrappers off the Henny bottle, whatever.
Nope.
There's a problem.
They just take the empty bottle and they just disappear and they come back
And
and
then
it's
they come
full.
back and it's full. I'm watching. I'm that nosy guy because I'm doing that. And I'm like, I'm not coming in anymore. And my boys will get in the car. I won't do it out there. Like, I'm not going in. Why? Because I saw them change bottles out 3 or 4 times and they didn't crack the wrapper. No. I don't drink like
Nasty
at my
word.
house in front of my friends without cracking the wrapper because I don't want them thinking I was in the basement.
Right.
Everybody gonna see me go all that.
And we know what it is. Let me smell it.
Come on.
You know better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that getting
can't-
real grown
Yeah.
curse.
You can't unknow it.
Especially after COVID, like we've all been home drinking. So we know what real alcohol tastes like.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
That too. You can really taste it. They ain't even trying no more, Darren. They ain't even trying no more.
No, you can't.
my living room at all.
Absolutely. At all.
I would have been toasted.
You know,
Yeah.
just in my living
If
room.
I was
at
at
all.
home and I had 2 drinks, I'd be done. I've
Your
had
word.
5 drinks.
Why did I have 5 Henny and Cokes in them? All right.
Why am I still
What
like,
is this?
I can go
Standing
to work
upright.
right now? What is
Right.
happening? So,
That's funny.
It's sad. We're getting that jazz club. I'm speaking to
There you go.
existence.
hell yeah.
Appreciate it.
I need that.
So what is your plan for the school board once you get in there? Because we're, once again, speaking into existence. Once you get in there, which some of your initiatives you want to do for the kids?
So once I get in there, one of the things I've always wanted to do, even when I was running for mayor, I want to encourage the the powers that be to utilize the school buildings for much more than they are. So these are just pie in the sky type things but I'm such a believer of hope that I believe I can get this going. It may take a while. But what I want to do is when schools shut down, I think to build community, folks got to be able to come back to the school to do other things.
Yeah.
Not just when little Johnny gets in trouble. It should be coming back there to look for a job online in those computer labs that are just sitting.
It's true.
I always think about in the summertime, what happens to the computer lab in the school with the books and they just dust over and everything?
Nothing.
Why can't we use all that? And if you ride by, I live on Mount Pleasant Ave. If you ride by Mount Pleasant High School all summer long at 9, 10 o'clock at night, guess what? The lights are on.
That is true.
All
That
the
is
high
true.
schools. They're on. They're on. So I'm saying, okay,
Let's
cool.
make use.
Why can't we use it in gyms? Why can't we use the gyms, gymnasium to do
crazy.
things, yoga classes and all that all summer
Basketball.
long?
Yeah.
Basketball.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny because URI leases their fields and all of that stuff to all types of events during the summertime. So why wouldn't a school, even if somebody had to pay
Even if somebody had to pay. I'm not
for
saying
the
free.
space, right? You can. That's
That
true.
is-
And you're
is
giving the
brilliant.
youth an outlet to
Yeah,
do
it's
something
and it's
positive.
in the
to do-
community right
And-
there.
And during the summertime they're not doing much at home. I mean,
Even if you let the kids work in the school while other people
That's
use the school.
There you go. Now,
Oh,
so
students
ownership-
get first choice to
Oh,
work the
wow.
thingies.
There you go.
That's
I
big.
like this.
So
like
that's
that.
it's all about ownership, and that's how people. It's like we talk about home ownership. You're encouraging people to buy. That's the way of the world. People show ownership, and they feel like, man, I like this because that's kids don't talk positive about their high schools anymore. They don't. I don't want to go to that high school. I don't. It's about ownership. So there's no ways for that. So that's just one of the many ideas. The other one is
damn good idea.
getting families to come to school board meetings and to see how important they are. But to do that, I need to convince the school board, even though I'll be brand new, this will probably be one of the first things that I ask, that we change the times of the school board meetings.
Hell yeah.
to what? I mean,
The
what is it-
school
what are
board
they
meeting
now?
right now is the second Monday, or the last Monday, I believe, of the month. Don't quote me, but it's once a month. And the school board meeting is at, I believe, 6 o'clock on a weeknight
Dinner time
happened.
for model families.
Not happening.
for 19,500 students. You know how many people come to those meetings?
Got money.
Less than 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes 0.
Because everybody's
So-
trying to get home, get dinner together, get the kids wherever they got to get
If
the
you're an
kids from.
athlete, but after practice, that's when I'm getting home.
I mean, we can
Yeah.
go on with the different reasons why this should be staggered. So you know what their solution to that is? They video record it. Like I'm going,
Is that helpful?
I'm going home. to
Come on,
watch
man.
What
Come
happened
on,
at the
man.
school board meeting?
That's not helpful.
How old and antiquated is that? No, we need to have it at different. How about a Saturday?
Yes.
Saturday afternoon school board meeting with some food.
Yes.
Yeah, make it a
right.
community event.
How about
Yeah.
giving out maybe what happened, documents
Minutes.
what happened at the school
Yep.
board meeting at the different games. How many
Yeah.
parents do we see in the stands like this?
Yep.
How about somebody from the school board being at those games, passing out, hey, this is what happened last week at the school board.
I like that.
Here's
I
that.
like that a lot.
So there's so many little ideas, community ideas, because I know for a fact, the most powerful folks in the school department are the parents.
Facts.
And they just don't know that.
Yeah.
It's almost like the citizens of Providence don't realize the only time we realize that when we get angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Black Lives Matter proved it.
Yeah.
When we stand up and when we stand together, even if we don't agree, things happen. And I'm not promoting violence or tearing things down, but if the parents went crazy like they do when they hear about a school shooting or whatever, if they stayed a little consistent, as we talked about, just about anything, just about Johnny's grades or what have you, if they stayed consistent and stayed upset and uptight about some of these issues, they would change, but they don't. They don't think they have any power. So that's my day one, first 100 days. If I win or when I win,
Let's do it.
it's 4 years. I like when people say, "Oh, wait, you're doing it for them." They say politics. You're doing it for the money. I'm like, I don't even know. I haven't even looked to see what it is. It's
say, I
like
don't
a
think
In my head, I didn't even think they got paid.
I was gonna say I don't think politicians
Well,
get
it's
paid
a
nothing
monthly
crazy.
stipend, a couple $100 a month or something like
Right.
that. People
Even the
don't know.
president don't get paid that much.
No.
So
So that's that, and then the mayor's like one of the I was making more than the mayor when he was mayor. So
Right.
that's the kind of stuff I look at people like, no, people that do what we do and get stressed out and almost lose our families and things like that. We don't do that for a check.
Nope.
So many other things I can do.
Yeah.
So yeah, school board. I just hope people come out and vote on November 5th. Please come out and vote. The bad part about it is that you can only vote for me if you live in Region 2, which is the north side of Providence. And the north side of Providence is the way they cut it up, and that's another thing they do strategically. All this, zoning and all of this.
Listen.
Oh boy, they do that strategically, but we're not at those tables, so we don't know that they cut our towns and cities up over highways, under highways, through byways purposely. They know who votes and who doesn't vote.
Right.
and they want to put people in certain areas, and they do a good job at it. So this area that I'm in, the north, I love the north side of Providence, but there's certain areas that I don't know. And you got to go to the Silver Lake area. I'm going, closer to North Providence, over that area, over near Rhode Island College, all of that. I don't know a lot of those folks. So we are going to be canvassing. We're going to be out there knocking on doors because I got to get to know people.
Yeah, and I think because I used to live in that area, they'll be happy to see somebody. Because we're talking about like Nathaniel Green area, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they'll be happy to see somebody for sure.
I lived in that area up until maybe like 2-3 years ago. I just moved to the South Side, so I call myself a South Side transplant, honestly. But right,
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm in reverse too. I was off Broad, Homer Street. Me and Darren was a couple streets away from each other. Yeah, and then I moved to off
I
Turkson.
remember that because my family lived on Burndale.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
so-
They lived on Burndale for a while, yeah.
Ah.
oh, specific region
No,
too.
I said region too.
City council wards 5, 4, and 14.
I'll run that one more
Region
time.
2, city council wards 5, 4, and 14. And if you're not sure, email us, email any one of us, make a comment on our Facebook and say I'm not sure if I'm a part of that, or you can go to our website at www.votekobi.com, and the information's there, or you can just put a question in there because we want you. And if you don't know who's running in your area, we can share that info with you too, because there's other candidates that we support in the other regions as well.
I did see that on your website. There were 2 other black men who were voting. I don't know if you want to shout them out, talk about them real quick, what regions they might be running for.
Sure, I'll let Lauren handle the region part, but I know it's Corey Jones. What region is he? And then there's Tyrell Stevens. We're trying to run our own region because this region thing is all new.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why I don't want folks to think we.
Line up with our city ward numbers,
Right.
so it would make
Oh, even worse.
No, this is what I'm talking about.
Because, like, yes.
Redistricting and all that stuff. They do this very often, and we're not at the table for this.
Tyrell is region 5.
Tyrell's
Tyrell
region
Stevens.
5, South Side.
Yep, that's over here.
Okay.
And
Because-
then Corey Jones is East Side, right? And what region
Corey
is that?
Jones, East Side.
There's a gentleman named Knight Gene, and he is what is the other area? It's West End. It has to be. Right? He must be in the West End area. So here, Lauren as the campaign manager, shout out to her for sure for breaking that down. But I don't usually break that down for people because they get more confused and more frustrated.
right.
What I tell people is go to the voting poll. Okay, and when you flip that page, because we're probably on a back page, I'll be number 2, where it says school board election. By the way, we had to go to a process for that. We had to go. They had the little ball, like a bingo ball, and all that to see where your name goes. Really? So these are the things I'm trying to teach people as well.
I wonder about that because I'm like even with Sheldon Whitehouse running yesterday in the primary or whatever, I got a phone call. They were like, "Oh, did you vote?" Blah blah blah. Sheldon, and I'm like, I don't mean to sound like no type of way, but who's gonna beat Sheldon Whitehouse with that name in Rhode Island in a primary? You know what I'm saying? We've seen that name over and over and over again. Like
It's just automatic.
right. Because you look at it and you don't know any of the other names and you're like, okay, that name looks kind of familiar. Boom, check it off. Yeah. So if you see Kobi Dennis, boom, remember you know that name, check it off. Real simple.
That's exactly what I tell people. Thank you very much. Just go there and look for my name and ask people, whatever. Because we give people these read, they get frustrated. Just like when I knock on doors, people don't want to hear about the budgets. They don't want to hear about, the different housing crisis and stuff like that. They want to know about what's happening next week. Like, what are we going to do?
And how are you going to help?
And how you helping?
And why you at my house?
Yeah, why you at my house?
And I will say, like, I'm sure because you're in the community and you're a face of the community and people know you. Last week, we had a lady come, and I guess she was running for council, but I live in Warwick. Mm-hmm. So she came, she put a flyer on the door, and my wife was pulling into the driveway, and she walked by my wife and said, "Hey, I'm running for for school committee." Gave her a flyer and then kept walking. No type of connection, no type of nothing. And I'm like, she had the boys where I have 2 young boys.
Oh, come on.
5 and 7. So it's like a perfect opportunity for you to make a connection with the community. And of course, I won't tell you what her shade was, but it's like we
don't have to guess.
Sage, man.
So like stuff like that. So like it's like I wish
we know, Darren.
Yeah, I know. But it's like I wish we had somebody of your ilk to come and be in our community to be like, oh yeah, it is, because it makes sense and you feel good. And then that like prompts me like, oh, maybe I should get involved in this.
Ooh, look at that.
Maybe I should do all that
Darren
stuff.
do be getting
And
involved. I love that.
I'm too busy. I don't want to do that.
Darren got bad things going on. I love that.
Like
right.
hearing you in this realm of like, you know, it's like, okay, so how did you start in the community, or how did you figure out that this is the voice you want to have? This is what you want to speak on, and it's like, oh, I could do that too. You know, so I think that's very, 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 very important.
I appreciate that.
You're doing stuff like that,
And
you're in the community being
It's
seen.
showing people that you don't have to start it when you're a kid. You can start as a whole adult, like I'm in my 30s or whatever, and trying something new in life and making a difference for people.
And you just have to like care. Like you just want
Literally.
I want better for my people in my community. That's where it really starts.
So recently, they put out the city of Providence. You know, it kind of rubbed us the wrong way as our team, and we had to really step back and really think about this and have a long discussion about it. So they put out that they wanted the bios of all of the. All of a sudden, they wanted the bios of all of the people running for school board.
Oh wow!
Why? All of a sudden?
This is not a stipulation. This was not anything.
Yeah.
So we're like,
Why?
this could go really bad or it could be really good for you.
Yeah.
So we emailed them back, responsibly. We emailed Board of Elections. We don't know nothing about this because this is so new. Nobody knew. So finally, the city of Providence emailed them back. They said, "Listen, we're just trying to, connect the voters to the people running." I said, "We're like, isn't that our job?" That's
That's called
yeah.
campaigning.
That's campaigning.
That's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yo.
So how about if I don't like the twist you put on? When I
Yeah.
send you my information, how do I
you
know
gonna
what
do?
you're going to put out right?
Yeah.
It's not, I'm sure, PDF or not, you can still cut it
You
off.
can still delete some, yeah.
Or say what you want, like they did the whole time I was running for mayor. You know what they said the entire time? They said community activist. That's all they ever said.
Oh.
They didn't say.
That's like a trigger word for white people.
Activist.
That's like saying protest.
He's gonna burn some down.
He is going to have
burn
all
some.
his black friends.
Yeah.
He's gonna burn something
All
down.
his black friends will have jobs.
Lauren's mighty upset over
Yeah. They would say it all, and they had this picture of me where I was like,
I mean, where's picture?
yelling at the cops or something.
Guys.
Walking in the parades of protests.
With doing this, and I didn't like in the middle of election like, oh, I shouldn't do that. That's one of my most iconic pictures at PVD Fest, going like this with it says, peace,
Word.
peace on it, doing that. Like they did it on purpose, and they never mentioned military veteran,
Right.
father of
the
three,
important things.
none of that stuff. They never even acknowledged that I was married, anything like that.
Because they only want people to see that one.
Oh, that was nasty work for sure. They did, and it was all the time on the news, in the newspaper, print, everywhere. The only time it was the community would when the community put out stuff, or a lot of the. That's why to this day, I respect all the the podcast folks like yourself and all the people that invited me. This one kid invited me to speak at a school. He reached out to all the people running for mayor, and he said I was the only person that answered.
See?
Wow.
I went to this kid. He was in high school. I went to his classroom. He did a class project. 6 years later, I get a Facebook message from this kid. He is a news guy. Wow. He's an anchor.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he's like, Kobi Dennis gave me my first real interview
Wow.
when I was in 11th grade. He was like, and I'll never forget it. Yeah. He was like, I wish he won. And he went on and on. This long story on social media, and people was tagging me and all that. I was like, I didn't even remember what the kid looked like. I didn't know that. I just know he invited me. I went there and I sat down and had a real in-depth and he had great questions too. Yeah. He was drilling me.
And that's the beauty of impact.
And it was great. And now this guy is at a news desk.
Never see what matters. It matters.
I was very excited about that.
Man.
Can we talk about the real ratchet from last night for like 2 minutes?
Wait, what now?
The real
debate.
ratchet.
Oh, I missed it. I fell asleep.
Oh, Bim.
I'd be sleeping.
Did you watch it at all?
So I'm glad.
Yes.
I can't talk about it for long. You guys can talk about it. I'll comment, but no, my wife watched it from another room, and I knew she was going to be reporting, and I knew what was going on every time she would yell or scream or cheer.
Cheer.
It was
Look
wild.
at where we
I
at.
can't do it. I get very uncomfortable watching that man.
Yeah.
And the way he just especially treating a black woman. I don't think I could. I know I couldn't take it, so I didn't. So I watched about 20 minutes of it. That's about it.
So I watched the beginning of it, and then when he said he was gonna give her a MAGA hat, I was like, all right, I'm turning it off. And somebody texted me the whole eating pets thing.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. Neither.
So dumb.
And I was like, all right, let me turn this back on because this is crazy. And it was able to be watched just seeing her keep her composure. The whole time I'm like, the way I would have flipped that podium, the way this man's talking, there was one point where I'm like, I know she wanted to let out a
MF.
MF.
That good pause.
That's literally what I text my friends. I'm like, yo, she was about to call him an MF.
She was. I saw
she
that part.
held it, and I was like, good for you.
She said former
president. But
Oh, she was clapping back like a little bit. I did see she was clapping.
Yes, and she held her own. I like the fact that she walked up to him because he wasn't trying to shake her hand.
Yeah.
She walked all the way behind his podium,
bang.
introduced herself because they never met each other in real life.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because he didn't go to the inauguration because he didn't acknowledge. Yeah, he didn't.
He just left. He
Yes.
locked all the doors and left.
He didn't acknowledge that he lost the election.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, so she walked up to him. He just kind of tried to like sidestep, and she was like, "Nope,
nah,
hi,
he
nice
shake
to meet
my
you.
hand."
I'm
Yeah.
Kamala. Nice to meet you." Yes, and I was
Black
like,
woman.
"Let's go.
I'm black, actually,
We're here." So I just want to shout her out, her debate team, everybody who helped her prepare.
Jen, why are you shouting out the debate team?
Because debating is a hard thing. You weren't on a debate team in high school?
But Jen,
Oh,
anybody know that she could go up there and beat that?
No,
fool?
but you can be prepared, you can be smart, you can be all that, but you can also lose composure.
Well, she's very composed.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
so-
she had to prepare for that. He didn't prepare for that.
they were
and
practicing.
he specifically said, I don't need to practice. I don't need to prepare.
Well, and I think I've asked you guys this with the other elections too, so I am consistent in that. What's the point of debate?
There are people who are in the middle.
But so for no disrespect to those people in the middle who need this to determine who
listen.
you're voting for
Listen.
in this instance.
Listen,
You
I
know
don't
what I'm
understand
saying?
how you can even be like. I posted a picture. Somebody had a blanket on their truck that said Trump, DeSantis. I'm like, DeSantis ain't even his running mate. Who's gonna tell him? Why are you even running around Rhode Island with that on the back of your car? Like, but there are people who.
Yeah, because like to me, it's clear. If you, hey man, it's not that hard.
Common sense.
we ain't got to do it. It's not that hard.
all this.
It's not.
Yeah,
it's
we
not
know
hard
what-
for you. That's what the thing. It's
I don't think you.
Real?
Yeah, it's not. Go ahead.
But what were you gonna find in? Because not just this debate, most of the other ones I've seen, it's there's no real winner determined, right? Which is a problem in itself to me because what's the point of having a debate if we don't know who won the debate?
well because it's up to you to determine who won.
So it's up to you, but they don't actually answer questions.
They're supposed. I
I
mean,
mean, so
frustrating
that's the
part.
beef. So if you're having a debate, you're not actually answering the question that people would. Because I gave up on watching them because, fam, I didn't even really gather much, especially when that guy was involved. So
I understand.
and it's not entertaining. It's not fun. It's a spectacle. It's actually embarrassing.
It wasn't
bit-
fun.
it's embarrassing.
It was very, very hard to watch.
If we're being honest, because Bim steps out of the funny, goofy realm for a second, it's so embarrassing.
yeah.
To me,
For this to even be, because we're not young people, right? We're around for vote or die. They've been doing this, right? To where, it's so important, but nobody treats it that way. Right? You're bringing me celebrities and Hulk Hogan's ripping the shirt off. And what is happening?
What is happening?
I'm cool. I know who I'm going to vote for, but
you go.
what is this?
no, I said that. My mom's like, oh, you know what? I said, Mom, it's embarrassing that
Yeah.
I've been to other countries. And I
Yes.
just imagine them looking at the TV.
Oh my God.
Listen.
watching this in
Laughing
other
at us.
countries.
Yeah.
They are laughing at us.
It's so like, as much as we should care about the local, because this, we don't have to deal with the spectacle. We can actually make
Right,
the
this
impact.
is a very cool conversation about what matters.
Right, but then at that level, there's a lot of eyes, young eyes too, and what do they think?
Oh yeah.
Right, and it just bothers me because those are the quote adults, right? The people who are supposed to be the most responsible and making decisions for all of us acting like fools. So what are we doing?
Lauren, if you don't get a mic,
I'm just gonna share Jen's, but I will say that some of my coworkers shared with me today text messages from family members who voted for Trump last time. At least 3 people, family members who voted for Trump last time, and after last night's debate, said they're voting for Kamala.
Interesting.
And so
very
the point
interesting.
of the debate is really because most people, if you don't watch certain news or you are not on certain networks,
Gotcha.
you will not hear her voice that way.
Gotcha.
So that's an opportunity for all of us to look at them side by side and get the same question and give their answer. Unfortunately, it's a spectacle because of the way he does it.
Right.
And he's been involved in our politics since 1999, so it feels like it's always chaos.
Yeah,
And it's like
a circus.
he's running the show
And-
because it's going his way. Like
And
it's
in
his.
addition, last night there was no way a black woman was going to be on that platform, and every TV in my house wasn't going to be on.
That- I could dig that.
Because I was like, I don't care what happens. I felt like I was in solidarity with her because we've all been that black person.
For you.
Sitting there being our face being played in,
Yeah.
and we had to suck it up
Keep
and
it up.
still be
Yeah, yeah.
professional. So I thought I'm going to do that. So that the debates are supposed to be better.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can do something else next. But I anticipate that after him, it's only going to be like chaos.
Yeah, and it just bothers me because
Thank
as a
you.
kid,
And my Nana would want me to participate because she got sprayed with fire hose to vote. So.
it's important. That's true. That's true. It's like as a kid, I saw it and it was a certain way, right? The Bill Clintons, there was certain
was a
decorum
very
involved.
serious, and you know.
Yeah.
And as I'm maturing, that's regressing. You know what I'm saying? So how can I, when my younger self understood it a certain way, watch it now and it, hold it
In
to
good
the
faith,
same
yeah,
regard?
yeah.
It doesn't make sense. My brain doesn't calculate that,
But there are some people who are watching it like, okay, so
Because they
That's-
really don't watch the news.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
can't speak to those people. It's just me, my own.
no, I mean, even me, we were watching it
Hit
last
some
night,
valid
and
points for sure.
yeah, and we were, I'm even if you're not a Democrat, you're a Republican, whatever, whoever you support, like, it's your chance to see them, okay,
Together.
talking to each other,
Yeah.
hopefully, and to hear some of the things he's saying is like for me, I'm a Haitian guy,
Yeah.
my family's Haitian, and to hear him saying Haitians are
Haitian
eating
people
pets
eating
in
pets?
Ohio, and it's
Bruh.
like.
But why
What?
do we need more ridiculous things to know about the guy?
Right,
We already knew.
right,
He did
but-
this with the toilet paper. Remember?
But that's him doing that. It's not
Yeah.
like he was forced to say that.
It's
That's
him.
him. So like, even if I was like, let's say if I was a Trump supporter and I'm like, okay, let's see what this guy that I want to win is saying, but I'm a Haitian and he's saying that about us, and it's like, okay, something didn't translate. So maybe now I'm going to really question why I support him.
Yeah.
In a certain light, and this was a platform that made me do it. Okay,
Yeah.
then a win for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't need it.
Yeah, we
It's-
did.
but-
It
but
wasn't
How
I'm
for
long
us.
is the list of,
Yeah.
of things
Yeah.
that this guy? You know what
I
I'm saying?
think I think it helped Kamala much
Right,
more.
It only makes her look good.
Much it made,
Yeah,
made it
so-
look so much more because the narrative that it makes me cringe. The narrative about her was that she couldn't complete a sentence.
Oh no.
That's what they were
crazy.
saying
And
about
it's
her.
crazy.
When people were
But again,
believing that.
when we say they and those people, who are they and who cares?
It's
There's
unfortunately
people.
it's a lot.
There's people that can take away your rights in 52 days.
Oh no. So when I say those people, right? Because
What do you mean by that? 'Cause
yeah, there's something to comments, right? I was listening to a podcast the other day. So we all know bots exist, right? For people who don't know what a bot is, it's something that can leave comments. Profiles are created, and
essentially AI.
They can be targeted, AI essentially, with profiles that can be targeted to sway opinion, right? Those same bots can be used for YouTube views. Those same bots can be placed with ads onto your algorithm to see them specifically to rile you up.
Which
but
is
it's
why Taylor
probably
Swift
not.
even posted her thing.
Why, don't send me that girl no more.
No, because I'm not a Taylor
Yeah.
Swift. I'm not a
Swiftie?
Swiftie.
You're not a Swiftie,
But
Jared?
no, I'm not a Swiftie, Darren. But apparently, the Trump campaign had made an AI post with her wearing a MAGA hat, making it seem like she was supporting him.
Right.
And she was like, staying out of it. Like, yo, I'm just Taylor Swift. I'm just a young lady living my life, but I need to make sure that I say out loud that this was not me, this is not what I'm doing, and this is what I'm doing, so that people who follow me don't think that that's what I'm about. Because we're in the age of AI, we're in the age of you don't know what to believe,
Right.
And so we have to now fight lies with truth in a way that we've never had to do it.
Or just ignore.
Well, you can't just ignore anymore.
Oh no,
Nobody's
no.
ignoring.
But that's the problem,
And
right?
that's the
Because
problem.
if you don't know who the source is, if you don't know who that commenter is, who got you riled up because of what they said, they have impacted your day and your perspective, and you don't even know if they're a real person.
Which is why she had to say something.
Well, no, not even just. I'm talking about the day-to-day person,
Right.
Because my boss, he talks about his wife a lot, and he's a funny guy. I don't want to talk about how he gets down, but he said she changed during COVID because of posts on Facebook. Oh, wow. He said she is no longer the person that I married.
Oh, that
So,
sucks.
and now she's on Truth Social, and she's like, well, that's just the community I choose to. So it's like, people's brains are literally being altered.
Because cult
followings
are real. Yeah, cult mentality is a real thing. And so it's hard to break through that glass if you don't put it in people's faces like, yo, this is not real life.
But the problem is, if you're saying that from a platform where the water's muddied already, how do you discern what's real?
That's the hard part.
Right. So why.
But you can't just give up, though.
Well, no, not a give up, but like to bring it full circle, what Kobe's on. We're outside. When I went to PVD Fest, even though I felt it was different, when we came around where y'all was at, and the white girls was doing the jump rope, and there's people doing the electric slide, I said, "Oh shoot, this feels good. This feels. Come on now, this feels good. Touching the people, impacting the people." But when you pick that phone up and somebody from you don't even know where, or people from where is just saying stuff.
Yeah.
Come on, how much? I don't know you, fam. Who are you? I don't even know who you are. I don't.
Because if you don't put that in people's faces, you don't even have anything to stand on.
Right.
So all you have is what the pundits and the talking heads are saying to you. So like when I watched it yesterday, I just turned on the TV. So I had channel 64 on because I was watching Family Feud before I went to bed. So it was, even though it was ABC, I watch game shows. It's a thing. So even though it was ABC News, yes, big time, big Grandma Jen. So even though it was ABC News doing the debate, it was Fox. So as soon as it ended, the Fox News pundits were the ones talking about the debate. So at first they're like, "Oh well, Trump did so good, blah blah," and it was a young blonde woman on the panel. And she was just talking praises about Kamala, just like being honest. Like she was and she was like, no, she really stepped up. She really did well. She proved her points. Blah blah. She won, and the rest of them looked at her like,
"You're not supposed to be saying that."
Did you not get the script?
Did you write? Did you not write? Did you not
She
get
got a
the
black
memo?
child.
Who let you say that?
That was surprising.
Right, and that's how I felt about it. Right, and that's how I felt about it. Like wow,
us.
There's somebody on the panel who, even though she's getting paid to have a certain side, she's being honest. And if only 1 out of 5 people on that panel is being honest, that still says a lot because it takes a lot for you to have that courage to be like, you know what? Fuck it.
So in that instance versus like comments and stuff, I love for a viewer to see that and say, actually,
let me think about
because it's somebody who's accredited. You could look at their other articles. You could research their stuff. Not just some jackwagon from somewhere who said something.
Right.
Yeah, come on.
I can't stand bots.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Lauren.
Yeah, people.
Why don't you have a mic? Why don't you have a mic, Lauren?
Just keep telling her.
Keep telling
I
her.
don't understand. Lauren.
She did it last time too.
I don't really talk to people I don't know.
But you
or
do.
Don't, communicate
talking
with
to us.
online. I just talk to I don't interact with people. There are other people in my life that will have a whole back and forth with people. I'm like, leave that alone.
Right.
That's what they think.
What we doing?
Her husband.
What we doing?
You all know who I'm talking about.
Her husband.
And I just be saying,
I have to call him up sometime and say, "Dude, can you stop it?" I mean,
I pull my card I'm very choosy about when I pull the card. And sometimes I'm like, I need you to take that down.
Yeah.
You know,
Ooh,
but
okay.
I don't, and I don't, and sometimes because when people come back at him, then here I come.
now you got to get in.
Right.
You got to get in.
You know, because I don't want nobody, so I just stay out of that. But some people interact online. I'm online for information, have a good time, to laugh. Jen and me, we in the inbox be going crazy about it.
with the giggles.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry.
I mean, we're missing Big Brother right now.
Hey, you are
Word
here.
from the wall.
We miss Big Brother today. We'll have to watch that tomorrow.
Don't worry, I already knew. I was
Y'all be cyber watching it together? How y'all
We
do
watch
that?
Big Brother. It's Wednesday night.
What?
Wow.
Shout out to the cookout. You notice how it's like after COVID, they was like they made it
Watch the
50%.
episode.
They made it like 50% non-white people on the show after COVID, and so that first season when it was like black people and they became the cookout, and it was one of those things where we know even if I don't rock with my black coworker, I'm a rock with my black coworker.
Word. Yaffy.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yaffy.
them 6 people did not like each other at all, but they stuck together.
And they called their group the cookout.
They called and they won.
Oh,
That's true. You did tell us
won.
about
Their
that.
house,
They
no
won.
matter
Wow.
what, we voted.
We voting even though I don't like this sickening, but and so now
Our alliance, it was dope.
it was dope. So now you ever notice that's like mad Asians now
Look,
to
she
make
gonna
that
talk to the
quota.
person with no mic. Look at her.
And then both of them.
All you're gonna hear is all this.
It's all good.
And you know the upsetting part is people listening and be like, yeah,
Because Big Brother's a thing.
you two should talk into the microphone.
I do talk in the mic.
Jen, drop kick. Drop kick.
She said, technically, I'm talking to myself. There's a wall talking to me because she's a wall. You can't see or hear her. But spirit, we feel it.
Any shows you are watching, Kobe?
No, I did watch a good
You think
series.
you got time to watch TV?
He probably doesn't.
Yo, for
Late
real.
night. I did watch a good series. The Gangs of London was
Oh, I've been meaning to get back to that. The accents were getting me. I need the captions.
I know.
Yeah.
So I had to watch the movie Snatch.
but it was very good.
Snatch, you said? Lauren.
Where the black people are have superpowers.
Oh, I did watch it.
Based
Yeah.
in the UK, right?
Yeah.
Super Cells.
Supercell. I just started it.
That's so funny.
I said,
Darren, next time she gets a mic.
she gets a mic.
She gets
It's
a mic.
gonna be-
like that.
She gets a mic.
here. Right here.
When them little teeny tiny
Yeah.
mics.
You gotta upgrade.
Can't help it, guys.
I understand. I want you to be part of the conversation. I truly
Absolutely.
do.
You should have jumped in.
Yeah, but you, next time.
Kobe, do you want to tell people one more time where they can find you, what they should do, how they can support, how they get lawn signs?
Yeah, how
all
to
that good
support.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good question. How
Vote
do we
Kobe.
support?
VoteKobe.com. You can go on. That's our website, and you can find out how to support. We're walking. We're going to be walking the streets every weekend, just passing out pamphlets. But when people come out their houses, we will talk to them and their kids, man. Especially running for school board.
Yay. As you should.
Yeah, as we should. Social media, just Kobi Dennis on Instagram, on Facebook, and just reach out. People reach out to me for everything. A recent request was my cat is in the tree, Kobe. Who should I call?
Say again?
Wow.
And before, when I first started this, I would say, "What? This person's stupid." Oh my God. Now I politely answer back, "This is who you have to call. The Humane Society or the fire department too. They may
I ain't
come."
even gonna lie. When they was doing all that bullshit at Standards with the mattresses, I said to myself, I should hit up Kobe, but I don't even really know him like that because he would know who to call to get this cleaned up.
mean,
And I
what
would
is
have told you who to
happening?
call.
I mean, it is. Oh my God. Lauren.
Yeah, the 311 app was kind of like weird. And I tried a couple times, and I tried to find my ward person. Then it was like the ward ends right at Potters Ave, and I was like, ah. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I thought about it.
And you can do it.
I will say that is it should be. You should take it as a huge compliment that
Word.
they're asking you instead of Google.
Mayor of the culture.
It comes.
Hey, man.
It comes to me all the time.
Oh, my
Called it,
goodness.
and sometimes my wife is over my shoulder. Look at. She said, "Did that person just ask you this? What? Can't they just Google it?" She gets upset. Little protective. I'm like,
Shout out to Black
We
women.
got to interview your wife because your wife must have a very
she-
difficult
oh
job.
my God, she would be the eye rolling, the hair snatching, all that. She would be. She'd be telling him. But no, I appreciate you guys. This was great, very enlightening.
problem.
and,
Thank you. I know you're a busy man.
Oh yeah, but this is good stuff. And please invite me back another time.
Oh, come on. We doing it again. Lauren's getting the mic.
She's gonna the first mic. I'm not gonna send anybody else. One for you.
After I win,
This is
when
yours.
I win the election, then we can. So Lauren will be. She can get the front seat because I can sit over there. Then because after I win, she did her job. So.
Oh, sure enough.
Yay.
Oh,
enough.
before we finish, so what made you choose her as your campaign manager?
Oh wow.
Did you have a choice?
No, I did have a choice. I have, like I said, a lot of folks in my camp that have the ability and capability. But now I just thought, Helen, see, that's one of the people in our camp. Lauren, definitely, she's a go-getter. Like right now, it's 10 o'clock at night. She could be watching her shows, at home with her family. She was, I'll be there right with you. So I just needed somebody that I didn't have to push to want to do this. Also, we don't have a lot of money. We have very little money, and I know Lauren is all for the cause. She's down with it, and this is the closest to me getting sometimes my team members to think about running it as well. It has a lot to do with that. So it's a little bit of bait and switch that I'm saying, listen, all right, maybe I didn't do good this time, but you should do it. You know how to do this. So believe me, there's a lot to it. And also Lauren believes in community just as much as me, if not more. She's inviolate. She says she doesn't say much on social media. Yes, she does. She says a lot on social media, and it's very impactful stuff. She has a lot of good quotes she puts up, and a lot of information for the people. So I thought it was just an easy choice because I see me and Lauren, and I hope it's vice versa.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank
Thank you guys so much.
for hanging out with us. And make sure you follow our podcast, PLSDELTHIS on
Yes.
Instagram. And on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, it's the Please Leave This Podcast. And of course, our website is www.plsdelthis.com.
And check us out on WBRU 360 on
Yes.
Mondays, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. for fun clips, in the middle of your beginning of the workday.
This would definitely
Don't listen on speaker. Put it in your ear.
Yeah, please.
Don't. Yeah.
There's people that listen on speaker.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah,
I have it on
don't.
speaker.
Yeah.
It's funny. I think it's funny. I get to hear all this stuff. Loud and clear.
What a
All
crazy
your
person
loud.
just walking down the hall. And,
Oh, no.
Shout out to the ACI, anybody there who's listening.
Indeed, yes. Thank you so much for the support.
Of course, rest in peace, Fat Man Scoop. Rest in peace, Rich Homie Quan. Rest in peace, James L. Jones. And rest in peace,
Alan Sean Feinstein.
Frankie Beverly.
Oh, Alan Sean Feinstein.
And Alan Sean Feinstein, speaking of
Come on, Rhode
community.
Island, yeah.
He gave me a $100 savings bond.
he
Darren, you
did?
kept yours?
No,
What about the space book?
I have the space book.
Okay.
And the alien card.
And the alien card. I don't have none of
I wasn't a Feinstein scholar, but I knew a lot of people who were. So
I was actually on his TV. No, my mom was on a TV show in like
Shut up.
'93.
wow.
Because I was doing good deeds. I was
We
out
all
there
said
doing
wow.
good deeds. He had me trying to do good deeds. He had me doing good deeds. I was like, I'm going to do that. I write down.
We was some good deed doing kids on Broad Street.
What a tongue twister.
Because when you have a person who's an adult who makes you feel like you can do good
Right.
and make an impact in your community, it matters, and that's what you're doing. So
He gave us money.
He did.
He gave us money. He gave us $100 savings bond.
Kobe, don't give him no money, but give him hope.
I give out toys, food, and hope.
Here we go.
I ain't got no cash for you. You want my wife to really come on this show?
We need to interview the wife and Lauren. That'll be
Oh,
nice.
yeah, that would be good. That would be great.
Oh my God, Lauren.
I'm not talking. You hear all that, all the mumbling in the background.
I want you to be part of the
I
conversation.
can't
No
wait
one
to
ever
hear
can
this
be
on the
quiet.
radio on speaker because I can hear it.
Thank you again so much. The man with two first names, Kobi Dennis.
Good
That was
times.
super fun. Thank you.